Hang on to your seats, kids. It's another one of those emotional roller coaster videos of hers. It's from a while ago, so, you know, don't worry, she's doing just fine now. Just getting around to finally editing this stuff. But, yeah, ups and downs and all arounds. But there's a happy ending, so hang in there. We'll get through it. Something's wrong with my camera. It stopped right away. Anyway, maybe I'm out of memory. I don't know. Might have to delete some stuff. Keeping an eye on it. I talked to Annette, and I felt that I had plenty to keep me busy for a while. So I asked if, in addition to Gaia, that she won, would she also like my unicorn? Now, Annette, bless her heart, I practically had to drive my ass to her house and kneel on her chest to get her to even accept the one that she rightfully won. She didn't want it. She's like, keep it for yourself. No, 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 no. That's not how this works. You're getting it. Seriously. I almost had to go feed her worms to get her to say, fine, send it to me. So I was so touched by that. And Annette is on disability, and she actually had also helped me out financially, which, you know, I'm a crier. I cried and I cried and I cried. So when I actually saw that she won, of course, I was absolutely thrilled. But I want to do something for Annette too, because I know how hard that must have been for her to give up some of her money to help me out when she's, you know, probably having to really scrimp and save to buy herself paintings. And I don't know whether or not she's ever had Diamond Art Club. I know it's out of the price range for a lot of you. So I am sending her the unicorn as well. Not that I don't like it. I do love it. But I've got enough. I'm good. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 there. I've got 4 more. Oh no, there's 2 more back there. I've got 6. I've got 6 paintings up there. 3 of them are Diamond Art Club. I'm good. Okay. And Gwenny had sent me her 2 Peter Pans, so I've got those to play with. And then I also have my mermaid and my 4 Seasons tree. I have the woman, what's her name? I can't remember the name of it. The woman I just unboxed. And then I just started last night the Santa. So, I mean, I'm good. I've got to be approaching like a dozen paintings. I don't need all of that stuff. So, Annette, again, I almost had to bust a lip. And Lord knows, I sold my car. I don't have a way to get there. I'm not going to Uber it to your house to beat you up to take this. So I'm sending her the unicorn. And I asked if she needed any storage containers, and she said no. And so I'm sending her. These are those. It's not much in that, so don't go getting all whatever. Those are the ones from the Dollar Tree that I bought, where you get, I don't know, 10 for $1, so they're 10 cents a piece. I'm sending her 50 of those, so it's a $5 value. Woo! Okay, but they're used, so it's a 25-cent value. Sending those. Now here came my dilemma. I have this box. And they fit beautifully in that box. Beautifully. But I also have this box. Now, I don't like to leave the house. This is a priority mail, large flat rate box. No matter what it weighs, it's the same price. I don't know if this flat rate is going to be cheaper than this box. Because I like this box, that it all looks so nice in there. And I want to pack it up real pretty. And this one I can, and that one I can't. That one, slide it down in there, and there you go. And I don't want to cart all this shit to the post office. So, anyway, I'm going to show you how pretty this could be. And then, Annette, I guess you'll get to see when it arrives which way I went. Because I'm a cheap ass. I don't spend a nickel if I can save it. So, alright. Sorry, it's just the way I've always been. I don't spend money. Period. I'm probably going to start a series on how to save money. Because maybe it'll be hosted by Frugal Fran or some shit. I don't know. We'll see. But, okay, so let me pack this up and give you a peek. So I've got all my paper, largest size, medium size, narrow size. I sorted it all by size. I'm going to pack it up and show you. Hang on. Step 1, we need a nice little air mattress to lay on. Don't they look comfy in there? Do you see why I want to use this box? I mean, that's like perfect. That's not going to look so nice in there. But, yeah. So, anyway, even if it's a couple more bucks, shipping was covered for this one. So, you know, splurge. Okay. I'm going to figure out what I'm going to do now, because I still have, you know, 1 knuckles depth. I could just fill it with paper, but that wouldn't be any fun. So, what else can I give her? Gotta look around. I did not call you. You have not been summoned. Okay, we're ready to box this thing up, tape it up, and head on out for, really? Rude. Get off my paper. Okay, gonna tape it up, and that is for little Miss Lucy. I have not forgotten about you, Lucy. It's just, you know, life happens, honey. It's on its way. Okay. Be back in a bit. All right. Packing supplies. Craft paper. Bubbles. Mailing envelopes are down there. This will come in something. And of course I kept those. That was from my computer. Little plastic boxes. Styrofoam. Anyway, packing material. Done. Then, let's see here. As long as we're cleaning up, this was from my diamond grinder. This is my gift wrap bin. We're not going to organize it today. It's good enough. Alright. Let me put that away. Alright. Because we have to have our semi-monthly tour of my closet. Alright. This is going to get relocated to my bedroom closet because she doesn't go in it. And it's just taking up room. And I've got more room in there because I don't have a lot of clothes. So, sewing machine, old scrapbooking stuff, tote bags, packing materials. Empty box now. My safe. My personal files, because I took them out so that I could put my work files in there. Tube stuff. Boxes that I haven't rectified myself to throw away. Picture frames. This stuff hasn't changed. Behind. Okay. Tools. Duct tape. Storage. Empty storage. Working storage. And then all my little hanging things. So bounce sheets, all kinds of stuff. All right. Let's see here. This is like random weird stuff from that. It's from work, but I don't want to junk up my room by putting it all over. Like I've got a lei and little foam fingers and blah, blah, blah. I've been saving my pill bottles, taking the gooey stuff off. This is office supplies behind. Okay. And eventually my Flow Chia Pets. Filing cabinet stuff, paper related things. Okay, paper cutter, label maker, la 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 la. Glue guns and paper cutters, glue guns, ties. It's not where that's going to stay. And then I still have to do something with these picture frames. Glue. My unused storage, which should really be up there. So, but we're going to deal with that later. And then, again, glue gun stuff. And then, yeah, this is filling up quickly. Yeah, I've already found a use for magnetic hooks. This is my bag of earbud parts. But yeah, there, yeah, good, yeah, it's good, yeah, it's good. Okay, I'm going to keep cleaning because it's Monday. Today's my last day off. Today's my Sunday, and I need to run to the post office, and I'm sure my husband's going to have stuff for me to do, and I want to be able to make the crafting video. If it's going to be, I need to roll that up because I keep filming and there's stuff. So anyway, hang on, let me roll that up so I can show you what I did. All right, we're going to do this in stages because, you know, that's how we're going to do it. You've all seen the drying rack, so if I make sure that when I put my stuff away, I've got room to slip it in between. See, there's the, okay. And got everything put away. Ignore the bags of garbage hanging on doorknobs. Again, I have to fill them all the way before I throw them away because I have to. Right. There. Now, look. Clean. Still need to deal with that, but clean. Clean, clean, clean. And between calls this week, I worked on my getting things organized in here. And just to let you all know how much all of your cards and letters and everything means to me, I keep everything. So, like, this was Hack Guyver's first package to me. Every little note, if it's not still on the item, it's there. Even Lucy, I kept the package it came in. Everything. I keep it all. Keep it all. This is the diamond grinder. Anonymous gift. And then Hack Guyver, I've got all the notes to mount and put in there because I love it. Love it, love it, love it. So I did work on that some this week because I felt like I was drowning in my mess. All right, now, the other thing I did this week was I reorganized here because those boxes had stuff in them that I was constantly trying to get at. So I took them out and emptied this important stuff out and reorganized the shelves to make things easier to get to. So one of the things was I had this whole shelf full of the baby stuff, the shoes and all that. And that's like a perfect spot to be able to reach stuff, and that was stuff I wasn't ever using. So just reorganizing. And I had a pile of pictures that were on their sides shoved in. What happened? I turned into a 12-year-old boy. And I wanted to put them out. That was my mom's mom, my grandma. She's the one who had Alzheimer's. And just got the stuff set out. so that it was a little bit more functional. And because I'm going into this a lot, I didn't want things sitting in front of it because it makes it hard. I gotta empty out the shelf before I can go in there. So just want to clear that out. And then of course this empty spot. See, in this, if you didn't see it, all my confidential stuff, I just roll it up, Velcro, boom. I'm no longer working. And then my Bible, my Gone Off My Meds Bible, artwork by Lucy Webb. That fits right there. See? And so I just kind of reorganized some stuff, got some of these family photos out. Okay, so this is, I believe that is my, oh gosh, my mother's parents, or my father's parents. I don't know, and my mom's not around to ask, so I don't know. That's my mother's father. He died in a plane crash when she was 2. And the paddle from his fraternity. I have his wallet too. That was in the stuff from my mom. I did go through some of that stuff in the last few days. Kind of getting sentimental. But I have, I know, morbid. These are the funeral programs from lots of my mother's family members. And I have my grandfather's wallet that they got from the crash. Anyway, so, and this I know is my mother's parents. So I don't know, look at their faces. Isn't he a handsome devil? He looks like Paul Newman. Okay, is that them? Possibly. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway. So, yeah, got that stuff out. And now I gotta clean up this. So, on with our day. Okay, squirrel. All right. This is from our wedding. We had the, you know, the beachside wedding, and I had to drink the wine to get the bottle, and I did it before the wedding because it was one of the decorations. Wedding day poem, tied up with a blue ribbon. That was our accent color. Stuck in a bottle, and I have not pulled it out and read it since the wedding, but that was the poem read at our wedding. So I thought that was kind of cool. There we go. Okay, almost there. All right, Jan, awesome, very quiet, love it, helps immensely. Just plugs into USB, so I don't remember where I have it plugged in right now, but I did use that. The cord probably fell off the back. And then she also sent me these foam pads, and they have an adhesive back. However, of course, I didn't, my mouse sucked on what I was using. They have an adhesive back, but of course I didn't want to stick that down to my table, so I just used little chunks of that dashboard pad to see if it would work, and it's awesome. And yeah, love it. So this stuff, obviously, you know, I wouldn't even need a piece that big. Just cut little tiny corners of it, because otherwise it's too lightweight. It moves with your mouse. But yeah, that worked out good. Thank you, Jan. And of course, if I did all 4 corners, it would lay nicer. But I was just testing that. I would put away my piece of cardboard because I was super gluing. There we go. Just used clamps to wedge that stuff from falling like an avalanche. And then the tilt table from Chanda fits right under there. And if you guys are wondering why I have this foam core on here, the video where I did the wedges for the trays, and then when you set them down, you need something to prop them against. that's what that's about. So that's why that foam's on there. Plus, you know, it helps keep you from stubbing your toe into it when you're walking around. I don't know. But I think we're almost clean here. Let's see here. I don't need this right now. Let me just put it over there. Okay. Okay. Oh, here we go. Fun from Jam. Where is it? Oh, that's light. There we go. Okay. Ready? You're just too laid back. Okay, that was fun. All right, that was exciting. Exciting stuff there. All right, let's go to the post office and get that done so that we have the rest of the day to fart around. Okay, and I'm going to throw caution to the wind. I'm going to throw away a bag that's not completely full. All right. Oh, and I need to put this in my closet. And I need to put on clothes. I should probably wear clothes to the post office. Well, at least, you know, something other than my bathing suit cover-up. Not swimming, guys. Pool's closed. Can't afford it. It's shut down. All right, hang on. I need two hands. And I'm sorry if I'm going to be a little snarky, but I did see, let's see here. I don't want to, I don't know. I'm not going to say anything. Never mind. Be the bigger person. Okay. But if you have not followed the, I'm trying to put my night guard away. Still working, girls. For those of you. It's not the most comfortable. Oh, and actually, let me take that with me because I wanted to fix it. I microwaved it again, heated it up a second time, and refit it a second time because the first time I had not bit down hard enough. So it was too thick in the back, and it was more like a wedge. So I reheated it, bit down as hard as I could, and then, of course, what ends up happening then, see how that extra goop came squirting out, and my tongue just plays with that at night, so I need to trim that off. I'm thinking, you know, X-Acto knife or something to kind of trim that away so that it's not so bothersome. But, yeah, now that I reset it, it's much more comfortable at night and not such a pain in the butt. So we're going to fix that later too. Leisha continues to promote my GoFundMe account on her channel, and I do so appreciate you doing that. I feel very awkward saying anything about it and asking, you know, people to help anymore because of, you know, some of the comments and unpleasantness that transpired as a result of it. What do I want to wear today? We're going to go comfy. So I have not been, you know, I haven't put out another video asking for people to contribute. I figure, I don't know what I figure, but apparently, you know, let me set you down because I'm trying to get dressed with one hand again to talk about something. So I'm gonna I'm going to aim you toward, check out my paint. Keep an eye on the stucco. Some people, and this is not in reference to what was transpiring or what was said or any of that, just in general, in life. Some people will make a very strong opinion based on partial information. That is called stereotype. So, grouping all kinds of people together that they're all just the same based on one or two, like, facts. And it isn't fair. Don't judge. Don't form intense opinions if you don't know the whole story. If what you do know causes you concern, either gather more information or don't say anything hurtful and judgmental. That's my opinion. Okay? And it's, again, my opinion. I'm so treading on thin ice here, aren't I? Let's see. So, I've recently become aware of some things, some opinions that seemed to be directed, perhaps in my general direction. I could be wrong. It could be just toward GoFundMe in general. But the feeling I got was that it was directed at me. And the summary of the commentary was that asking for some sort of help in my current situation was abusive to, you didn't see in that drawer, did you? Don't look in the top bedroom drawer, people. Was abusive and taking advantage of people. And that people should not ask other people for help. Sorry, I'm pissed. I'm a little pissed. I'm a little ranty. But I just don't like people making such intense declarations of opinion without knowing all the facts. I have struggled in my life. I've worked hard in my life. This is the first time in my life here in Florida that I've ever had a house like this. Okay? And a lot of this was concessions that were made. I have seasonal depression. My husband decided it was best for the family to move to Florida. He didn't really want to, but he knew that I needed it. So some of this stuff that we have was things to make leaving his entire family and friends and the place that he has been his entire life, leaving it all behind and making this a little more digestible for him. So, yeah, things came up as they always do, unexpectedly, when you're trying to start a business. It's always kinks. We planned as best we could for all those kinks, but there was more kinks than we expected. Huge kink right at the end that kind of took us down. And, well, so we have sold my car. We have contacted the real estate agent to sell the house. We have used the money that we got from all of you in donations to buy the supplies and chemicals and all the products that he needs to do a job on Tuesday. So that was something we couldn't have done without your help. Because some people might be okay with just stop paying the mortgage and save your money to move into an apartment. And then there's other people who worry about the long-term effects of your credit wrecking your life and taking away opportunities for years to come, and feeling a sense of moral obligation to pay your bills. Not just turning your back on a bill because, what, that's not a real person? So they don't matter? They don't deserve to get paid? I don't agree with that. I don't know. I know there's going to come a time where you can't pay the bills, but I don't know why asking for help and getting yourself out of a bad situation and getting yourself back on track and not becoming destitute is a bad thing. I mean, does that mean, you know, where does it stop if you don't help anybody because you've been burned? So the entire world should just be everybody out for themselves. I do not want to live down the street from that person, you know, at end of days, because they're gonna come slash your throat. They're not helping anybody. I don't think that that's a better world. I really don't. And just as an FYI, for those of you who think that GoFundMe is only for major catastrophes and natural disasters, go look at it. Go look at it a little closer. They have categories for business. They have categories for sports. They have categories for honeymoon and newlyweds. GoFundMe is not intended only for the most destitute. Okay? It is meant for whatever cause has meaning to you. Okay? I didn't go to the Red Cross and the Salvation Army and ask them to bail me out. I went to GoFundMe. It's voluntary. I'm not abusing anyone. I'm not taking advantage of anyone. Each and every person who knows about it has their choice. Their choice whether or not they want to help. And, you know, pay it forward. I've helped people in the past. My husband's helped people in the past. You know, people have this opinion when you see the panhandlers on the corner with the cardboard sign, need help. We just saw 2 yesterday. There's a lot of them here. It's warm. There's a lot of them. You know, there's people who have compassion for them and want to help and do something to help them. And then there's people who look at them and go, they're just going to spend the money on drugs and alcohol. That may be. But that doesn't mean you turn your back on them. So I did this, oh God, this was probably 25 years ago. So I was probably 20, early 20s, probably. And there was a man back when I was living in Illinois who was on a corner of an intersection, like in the middle of farm country. It was not a busy intersection by any means. There happened to be a produce stand there and nothing else around, but he was standing there with his little cardboard sign. Need help, I'm hungry. Well, I continued on my way and thought about him the entire way back to my house, which was probably a 5-minute drive. And I went in my kitchen and I made him, I think, 5 sandwiches and got him, you know, something to drink, a couple bottles of water and some other snacks and stuff, and loaded up a big bag of food and brought it back to him. And he cried and thanked me. So, no, I didn't have to give him money. His sign said, I'm hungry, need help. It didn't say, give me money. It said, I need help. We all need help in different ways. And some people don't want to help anybody. Period. I think that's really sad. So. there we go. That's my opinion on it. I want to help people. And if my way of helping people is by cheering them up and making them happy, then hey, I'm helping you. And if anybody wants to help in return, that's greatly appreciated on my end too. So, we're not using the money to maintain a lavish lifestyle. You know, sold the car. We're looking at putting the house up for sale. He's actually trying to find somebody now to just buy the trailer and sell the business so that we can pay back all the loans and move back to Wisconsin. I'm hoping we don't have to do that, but we are looking at it. I mean, there goes that dream of, you know, really doing extremely well for ourselves, because this idea he has could be enormous, enormous. And, you know, we stumbled at the 3-yard line. With some help, we can get there to the end zone, but, you know, we're looking at just cashing in and going home. So, you know, any help is not to maintain a lavish lifestyle. And I don't even understand why the one particular person made a comment that they blocked me. Like I'm going to harangue you or something. But it's fine. You don't agree with me. That's fine. I never criticized anybody. I never said anything harshly. I never told people not to give their opinions. Just, you know, don't be hurtful. Don't kick people when they're down. That's fine. Alright, I gotta go to the post office. Because, you know what? I want to do something nice for Annette, because Annette did something nice for me. And I want to do something nice for Lucy. Lucy did something nice for me. So, that's where I stand. Alright. Later. I had every intention of going to the post office, but I can't find car keys to his car. They're not on my keychain. And he's not home. And he's not answering the phone. So I'm stranded in the house. And it's too far to walk. So I guess I keep looking. See if I can find car keys somewhere. But I know. Stuck here. There's nobody home. Oops, sorry. You know, when you walk, never mind. Okay, I'm getting crabby. So, yeah. I have no car keys. I can't go anywhere. There's a car key. All right. Yes. Sorry, I'm being ugly. I don't want to do that anymore. I'm going to stop that. Okay. I'm going to show you how to fix these too. Mine keep getting too wide for my head, so that when I look down, they fall off. And we took them back to like one of those sunglasses places in the mall to ask them what you do, because they're plastic. Okay. And he showed me a trick, and Jan gave me something that's going to make that easy to do. So let's get going to the post office. And I wish you could come, but it's too hot in the car. Sorry. So we're going to, just a random Monday. Random Monday. It's a manic Monday. Okay. All right. And I'm sorry, I've been snitty. I'm one of those people who tries to ignore things, stuff it down, and bury your feelings. And then eventually, It all comes boiling to the surface for, you know, no good reason whatsoever. Let's see. I don't want you facing me because I don't have any makeup, so I'm gonna go grab one of those dashboard pads that Pat Guyver gave me. Let's see how well that works for a little stand in the car. I think they're in the living room. I'm setting those there. So when I ask you where the hell I put the keys later, you can let me know. All right. And I promised I would clean up the living room. I started the Santa yesterday. And I got quite a bit done. I tend to do 2 squares by 5. So that would be 1,000 drills, right? 5 times 2 is 10 times 100. 10 hundreds is 1,000. Anyway, I did 2 sections. So awesome. And I don't know if I already showed you guys this. Oh, I'm making too much stuff. Okay. And then I've got my little mystery substance I've been playing with again. We'll go over that too. I got a lot of stuff to go over. Okay. Why did I come in here? Oh, dashboard pad. Here we go. Let's give it a whirl. Okay. Yeah, again, I apologize. Who was it? Somebody was asking about my drill pen and where I got it, and I said it was a Disney pen, and she said that she found them online, I guess. Similar or the same, I'm not sure. But they were too expensive for a drill pen. Understandable. She said $25 to $42. Holy crap, I had no idea that that pen was so expensive. It was a gift. After my husband and I took our test drive honeymoon, and I believe I talked about that in a previous video, you know, he was... God, I got a lot of stories. I'm a chatty Cathy today. Put this thing down here. Hold on. He was one of those people who... Hold on, I'm going to stop talking until I get this done. Well, this is just a clusterfuck here, guys. Okay, I can't get it to work on any of the dashboard area. He's got his mount, like, plastered down, I think, to his car. Yeah, he's got it glued in. So I can't move the mount. My mount is upstairs. We'll be fine. I just need to get a charger because my battery's dead. So you're in the door. There you go. Hold on. I gotta go get a charger. Okay, he does that thing always with puts the air conditioner at like 56 and then high. Oh, he does have a long cord in here. I didn't even need to go in the house. Okay, hang on. Plug you in. Alright. Let's see. Hope you're going to be able to hear me. Maybe if I turn you over. Woo! Let's see if it fits that way. There we go. Nope. Now it wants to restart. Oh, because my pop socket's in the way. I could take you out of the case. But I don't want to take you out of the case. Alright, let's see. Here, if I put you there. Nope, that's not gonna work. I wonder if that pad... Let me do this. I'm going to stick the pad to the window. And then I'll stick you to the pad. Kind of. I could angle that a little. There. You guys get a side view now. Or not. Hang on. Still trying to figure it out. It's so magical the, you know. Let's see. Nope, that's not gonna work. Let me see here. This. Try to wedge you into the window here. You're gonna be looking out the rear view mirror. That's looking at the sky. It worked better this way, but then now with the charger. Mother effer. There. That's good. Is it still recording? I guess so. Well, that was an adventure. Okay. Extreme action vlogging with Gone Off Her Meds. All right. Okay, I'm gonna try and be cheerful. Try and be cheerful. Why am I singing? I don't sing. Been watching too much Allison. She put out her video last night at 1 a.m. I was all ready to go to bed and boop, there's a new video from Allison. Well, son of a bitch, I gotta watch that. So, earbuds and lay down, listen to it, thinking I'll just drift off to sleep. No, I made it. It was an hour, just over an hour long. I'm gonna run into the garbage can now, aren't I? Yes, it's right behind me. Cause yeah, just like last time we went somewhere, garbage can is always smack dab in the center of the driveway. Can't put it off to the side or anything. Do you see why I should just stay in the house? It just makes me angry. And I'm not even dealing with below 0 temperatures like Leisha is. I just don't want to leave the house. Okay. God, I have so much to tell you guys. So much has happened. Okay, let's see. What was I just talking about? Shit, I don't know. Oh, there's some more of these birds. Oh, all you can see is clouds. Well, it's pretty. There you go. Big birds. Clouds and trees. Shit, what was I saying? I don't know. Action adventures, vlogging. I have no idea. Garbage can in the middle of the driveway. That's what distracted me. I don't want to play the video back to figure out what I was talking about. I guess we'll just move on. Oh, that I shouldn't leave the house, I guess. Last time I left the house was when I had to go pick up that prescription, and I was just angry. So, yeah. Yeah. At least I have the box. I just had to look in the back seat because I'm thinking, oh, that would be lovely if I forgot that. Oh, I'm going to try and be in a good mood. Got lots of stuff to talk about. Okay, so, I had begun to touch on, in my long-winded way, my, my journey through, you know, single mom with the twins and all that, and my dad worrying how he would take it if he knew about the GoFundMe, and he didn't bring it up when I called on his birthday. He didn't say anything about it, so I don't know if he heard. He and my stepmother do not go on Facebook. However, lots and lots of family members do, and I would assume somebody told them about it, but I don't know. But my brother gave me shit about it. I believe his comment was, "What the fuck are you doing begging for money on the internet?" Yeah, that was supportive. But anyway, that's his opinion. He's entitled. We're all entitled to our opinion. But one really good thing that came out of the GoFundMe, probably more than any amount of money in the world ever could have, is, well, I'm going to tell you a little story. Because, you know, we all love little stories. So when I originally moved to Wisconsin with the twins and their dad, they were probably, let's see, we moved in the end of February. They were born in July, so let's see, 2 to 7, they were like 7 months old. So the twins were about 7 months old, and my son would have been, so it was 2003 that we moved to Sheboygan, and my son was born in 93, so he would have been 9, gonna be 10 that year. We moved in the last day of February, I believe it was 28th of February, something like that. And the things were not great between he and I, and so I had called an attorney. This is going to be a really long story. I'd called an attorney to find out, because I wanted to leave. I wanted to get out of there, but I was now in a different state. So I called to find out what the laws were as far as me leaving and taking the kids with me and going back to Illinois now that I lived in Wisconsin. And I believe he said you had, I can't remember if it was 60 or 90 days. It must have been 60. No, must have been 90. 90 days. You had to get out of the state within the first 90 days or you couldn't go. So, so before the 90 days was up, I did pack up the kids and myself and took everything back to Illinois, and my brother took me in. My brother and his new wife let me put all of my worldly garage sale side of the street possessions in one of their barns, and I stayed in the kids' toy room. Their kids had a toy room. She let me stay in there. So my son was back. We came back, I think it was like, maybe we moved there, I think maybe it was March 3rd we moved, because we were back like very, very beginning of June, like the 1st of June, the end of May, something like that is when we went back to Illinois. So now we're back for the summer, and my older son wanted to do Little League because he was upset about leaving Sheboygan to go to Sheboygan anyway, because, you know, he would have been, let's see, if he was 9, 4th grade, going on 5th, you know, he missed his friends. He wanted to play baseball on the team that he'd been on since forever. So now that we were back for the summer, we were still like a half an hour, 40 minutes from our hometown, living with my brother. But he was then able to go back into Little League for the summer. So with that, you know, anybody who's had kids in Little League, it's like constant practice and stuff. And it was cramped because the twins and I were all in this one bedroom together, and then if he was with us, then it was either he was in there too or he was sleeping on the couch and then interrupting their family, because they had a baby too that was born a month after the twins. So we had 3 kids under a year old in the same house. Yeah, it was kind of chaotic. So he wanted to stay with his dad for the summer with baseball several times a week and everything else, and I thought that that was good. Familiar surroundings, try and get him stabilized after the trauma of, you know, all that had just happened. He was witness to a lot of really intense fights. I don't want to get into that, but yeah, I need to get out of there. So yeah, so I thought it would be good for him to go stay with his dad, and his I believe his dad was remarried at that point, so, or it was just they were living together. But there was 2 other teenagers in the house, and yeah, so he went to go to his dad's, and here's one of those things where, you know, you ignore the signs. Hindsight's 20/20. So I had my van packed full of like everything I could from leaving Sheboygan and heading back to Illinois to go to my brother's. So in the back of the van was like boxes and boxes of like the immediate stuff I needed to get at. So I had the 2 high chairs and, you know, the baby food and diapers and Cole's clothes and all of his everything he had, and, you know, his baseball glove and the ball that he had that was signed by the team from the last year. I don't know if he got MVP, but it was like everything jam-packed. You know, 80 pounds of shit in a 5-pound sack, packed full in the van. And he had his cat, Luna, a little black cat, that he was taking to his aunt's house because his dad wouldn't let him have the cat, and I couldn't keep the cat at my brother's because they had 2 other cats that would kill it because they were, you know, very territorial. Anyway, so his aunt had a place that she would take the cat. So he's got the cat, and Luna had claws. Okay, she was not declawed. I didn't do that or anything, so full-blown claws. Well, we're driving along, and, you know, like I said, about a 40-minute drive or so from my brother's to his dad's house, and he's sitting in the middle row of the van on the driver's side, right behind me. And every square inch is packed full of this van. And he said that there's smoke coming out of his vent, the vent in the side panel of the van. And I'm like, well, what the hell? I'm like, quit playing with the knob on the air conditioner. You're constantly turning it on and off and on and off and on and off, and you probably broke the damn thing. And he's like, no, I swear I wasn't. I'm looking for the post office. I don't really know where it is. I think I've gone too far. I don't know where it is. Never been to it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I was talking and I missed it. So we're gonna have to turn around. So anyway, I'm like, well, I'll take a look at it in a minute. You know, well, no, Mom, it's getting a lot worse. It's really getting smoky, and now I can like see white smoke coming out. And so I pull over on the side of the road, and I'm on you know, a country road. There's houses, you know, probably with several acres apiece, their yards, so there's a lot of space in between houses, and it's just a 2-lane kind of country road, no shoulder or anything. So I kind of pull over into the grass, and then we start seeing flames coming out of the vent. So it's like digging all the boxes out of the van to get him out. You know, that took, you know, 5 seconds. And he's got the cat in his arms, and the flames are, you know, probably, you know, licking around between 2 and 4 inches out of this vent. So I you know, got the phone in my hand, and I'm calling my dad, who lives like a mile away. My dad is well, at least he was at the time. I don't know if he still is. President of the fire department in my hometown. And I call him and I go, hey Dad. And he's like, yeah, what? And I'm like, do you happen to have a fire extinguisher? Well, yeah, I do. Why? I'm like, well, I'm pulled over on such and such road, and I've got flames coming out of the vent in my van, and I'm pulled over at the intersection of blah 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 and blah blah blah. And I'm emptying all my stuff out, but I was wondering if you could stop by with your fire extinguisher. Cause, yeah. Oh, sure, I'll be right there. So, in the meantime, the flames are getting bigger and bigger, and now we're talking, you know, they're like, I'm gonna pull into Lowe's parking lot and just Google this post office again, because I don't know where I'm going. The flames are, you know, a foot. They're like up to the almost the fabric on the header of the car, And I've emptied out the side and the front seat, and now I've got the back hatch open, and I'm pulling out high chairs and boxes and everything. And Cole is hanging on to Luna for dear life. She's clawing the living crap out of him because she's scared. And he's like screaming at me that she's tearing him apart, and his arms are bleeding. And she doesn't have a leash or anything. We didn't have a cat carrier. And I'm like, just hang on to her. You back up from the car, go back over by that house over there so that she's not hearing, you know, trying to tell him to get her away, to calm her down so that she'll stop clawing the living shit out of him. Because I'm thinking if that cat got loose, we're never getting her back. All right. So, now, this entire description that I've given you so far, this is like everything in probably less than 45 seconds have passed since I pulled over. So, all right, I gotta Google where the hell the post office is, and I'll continue the story. Okay, so yeah, I'm like, got everything out. I'm trying to move it further and further away from the van, because now the van is essentially engulfed in flames. Flames all over everything. And I'm parked right underneath some, I don't know if they're phone lines or power lines or what, but the flames are now shooting out the van probably a good 10 feet into the air. Black smoke. Then the tires start to explode. And the cat is really ripping him apart now. And fire trucks, I can hear sirens coming and all of this. And now I've got like 5 fire trucks there, and they're just, you know, back off. And all 4 tires explode. Holy hell, is that loud. And then here comes my dad tooling up in his red pickup truck and parks behind all the fire trucks and comes sauntering up, and I teased him. I go, "You're a little late with your fire extinguisher." He goes, "Yeah, I left it in the car. Last thing I need is these guys giving me shit for pulling up with my fire extinguisher for this mess." So, yeah. But yeah, that's God giving me a sign, don't give up your kid, because I never got him back. He went to live with his dad, and he never came back. Well, anyway, eventually, you know, the twins' dad bamboozled me into believing that he really cared about me, and he, you know, wanted to get married and buy a house, and he's so wrong about how he had been treating me, and I was right all along, and yada yada, and I can't live without you. I mean, he was like not a warm and fuzzy person to begin with, okay? Not that I am either, but I mean, it was like total opposite of the way he'd been treating me all along. And this went on for a couple of months until I was so confused. Again, trying to figure out how I'm gonna manage with the twins, because you know, when we were in Wisconsin and I was working, like I said in the other video, daycare cost more per hour than I was working. But now that I was home, I could start up my painting business again. But daycare in Illinois was way more expensive than it was in Wisconsin. So it still ended up being, you know, like not enough to live on. When I stopped painting, that was 2002 was when the twins were born. And at that time, I mean, we're talking 16 years ago, I was making $25 an hour painting. I mean, I was doing pretty damn good for myself, okay? But once you put in the daycare and everything else, yeah, daycare was way expensive. Like in Sheboygan, I think it was $4.20 an hour per kid. So, you know, put them together and it was more than I made. In Illinois, it was like for kids their age, because you always pay a premium the younger they are, I don't remember for sure, but it was something like $10 an hour or some ridiculous amount per kid, which meant I'd be making like $5 an hour. And I don't know. How do you live on that? I don't know. I'd already sold my house by that point, so I didn't have a home to go back to anyway. But, so he convinced me, and I did go back to him in Wisconsin, and we did end up buying a house, and he did, quote unquote, propose to me, which really, there was no proposal. He took me to a jewelry store that said, you know, we buy gold, that kind of place, and he got me, is this it? I guess so. He got me a ring. It was, quote unquote, an estate engagement ring. It was $20. That's what he bought me. That was my engagement ring. And he wouldn't let me wear it. He didn't want to tell his family that we were engaged. He wanted to keep it a secret. So he kept the ring in his, hidden in all of his stuff. But we were engaged. He bought me a $20 ring, and he kept it, and we weren't allowed to tell anybody we were engaged, but he followed through on his promise. We were engaged, right? Yeah, okay. So, yeah, and then after that, I told you the rest about how I went off on left him and got my own house and yada yada. And I had Cole every other weekend from the time that he went to his dad's when he was, you know, 9.5. I had him every other weekend until he was probably, I don't know, maybe 12, and then it became more like maybe once a month. And then when he was like 14, then it was like once in a while. And then I remember at least once when he had his learner's permit, so he would have been, what, 15. He came up once and I let him drive, and we had to pull over in Milwaukee because the traffic scared him too much. And that's the last time I remember him coming, was that time. Yeah, so that would have been right around the time too that I met Brian, because Brian has still never met Cole. So Cole stopped seeing me before Brian entered the picture. Not that he necessarily stopped seeing me, he was going to see me again, but it was less enticing for him because he no longer had his own bedroom. You know, when I lived with my mom, Cole had his own bedroom. And then when Brian and his kids all moved in with us, with my mom, one of his kids had Cole's bedroom and the other kid had another room, and so Cole no longer had his own bedroom. And I think he was very angry about that. You know, I gave somebody else his bedroom, and, you know, from a logic standpoint, what am I, what are you going to do? I mean, I've got Brian and his kids living with me. I'm going to make one of his kids sleep on the couch because Cole, who comes to visit once or twice a year, has his own room and you can't use it? No. So, yeah, I think that created a lot of resentment and anger on his part that I gave some other kid that he didn't know his room. So, anyway, I gotta run into the post office and I'll continue this story. You're gonna stay in the car. Guess what, kids? It's a holiday. Post office is closed. And the self-service kiosk is not functioning. So, I'm gonna have to beg my husband to mail this another time because I work the entire hours that the post office is open during the week. So that's fun. Okay. Anyway. So let's see. Okay. Yeah, I haven't had my son stay the night with me since before I met Brian. Brian and I have been together now. It'll be 8 years in January. And he got upset with me. I don't remember exactly what all happened, but we went several years without talking. I think I told you that story of when he wanted to stay. I don't remember exactly anymore because I don't know. But he and I were kind of estranged for a few years, and then for his 18th birthday, I put in a friend request on Facebook, and he accepted it, and we started talking on a very regular basis for a few months, and I found out all kinds of horror stories about what he had kind of gone through in his high school years, down the wrong path. It was kind of a mess. The kid was a mess. So I was incredibly riddled with guilt and thinking, oh my God, did I make the right choice in having him go live with his father? Clearly, there wasn't the kind of parental supervision necessary in order to keep the kid, you know, on the straight and narrow, and he really messed up his life big time in high school. And he told me some stuff that he said even his dad didn't know, and I'm not going to publicly, you know, talk about what all that is right now, but I was shocked, okay, at some of the things he told me. And not what I expected of my child at all for their future. And now at this point, he and I hadn't really been talking for a few years, and he did tell me that he was very jealous of his brothers and the attention that they got, and that I didn't seem to pay as much attention to him once they were around. And you know, I could see that when he came to visit, he was very much a bully toward his little brothers. He was really mean to them, aggressive toward them, acting out a lot. It was getting to be of concern for sure. So that really didn't come as a surprise to me that he felt that way. And he seemed to be more understanding now, you know, that he was 18, of how all that was, and how I was kind of trying to do the best I could. You know, I could have focused more on him when he was up to visit, but you know, you do the best you can, and I screwed up a lot. I know I did. So anyway, we get fairly close, and he was very frank with me, very candid about, you know, things that he was up to, and all of that. And again, I want to respect his privacy as well, but try and also give you a clear picture. Anyway, so then that's when that happened, where he wanted to come and visit for Christmas, and I hadn't seen him in years, and now I know all this stuff about what he's been up to for like the last 4 years. And I wanted to see him very much so, but again, we didn't have a bedroom for him. Brian and I had gotten an apartment. We had moved out of the house that I owned with my mom. Things weren't working out well there, so we found a house to rent, and unfortunately we weren't able to take our pets with us. I had a dog, the the Border Collie mix, Molly, and I had Manzana, the cat, and we couldn't find a place anywhere that would allow pets at all, period, none. So I had to get rid of the dog and the cat, find homes for them. The dog, I found somebody to take. It was my Brian's sister's husband. Well, sister and husband, they're now divorced, and the husband kept the dog. So he took Molly, and Manzana, we couldn't find anybody for the cat, so she ended up going to a shelter, a no-kill shelter. Yeah, so we didn't have a bedroom for him, and I told him, you're welcome to come for that week between Christmas and New Year's, but you're going to be sleeping on the couch, and you're right in the common area of the house. It was like a split level ranch, so the living room, kitchen, dining room, the whole thing's all one big area. You can't be staying up till 4 in the morning and sleeping till 2 in the afternoon, because you just can't disrupt the whole family that way. Because we had let's see here, it was, of course, Brian and I and his kids, and I had already given up placement of the twins by then, so the twins weren't there anymore. Were they? That makes no sense. Maybe I did still I don't know. God, I'm thinking that we didn't have the twins anymore, because that's why I was so depressed, and I reached out to him because of that. But then we would have had a bedroom for him. I don't know. God, I'm so confused. That whole time of my life is kind of a blur. I was in a really bad, dark place, and I can't remember a lot of it. I was kind of a zombie for a very long time. Maybe that was the year before I gave up the twins to their dad. Like, maybe it was the first year Brian and I were together. So it might have been the year prior to, because then that makes more sense if we still had the twins, that if he came up, that he wouldn't have a bedroom. But then he wanted to bring a friend with him, and I hadn't seen him in years, and I just thought, well, that's odd, because my idea is, a grown woman is, well, let's reconnect and spend time together and have fun, and it'll be all about you and I. And he's thinking, I want to bring a friend, so I have somebody to play video games with. And I'm like, oh, this is not good. And he was so upset about the idea that he had to, be up by 9 a.m. or whatever I told him, that he said, fine, forget it, I'm not coming. And he unfriended me on Facebook, and I didn't see or hear from him again for many, many years. Ever, really, actually. I'd hear about him from family members. Like, at one point, my dad and my brother each had said that he had delivered a pizza to their house. He was a pizza delivery guy. Later on, I heard that he had joined the Air Force and was in basic training in Texas. And my dad and stepmom had bought airline tickets to go see him graduate. They were very excited. It was a big hassle. They had to go through all this security clearance investigation crap or whatever in order to be able to attend and buy the airline tickets and all this shit. And then I heard that he left basic training. He left. Wasn't there anymore, and nobody heard from him since. Nobody ever saw him delivering pizzas. Nobody ran into him in town. Nobody really knew where he was. So I lost track of him a few years ago. Had no clue at all what had happened. All right, we're finally getting to the punchline. Thanks for hanging in there. So, put up the GoFundMe campaign, and I share on Facebook. Now, keep in mind, he's unfriended me, but the other day I get an alert that somebody donated money, and I open it up and look, and it is my son, Cole. Gave me $250. And as you can imagine, I immediately started crying because I haven't seen or heard from him in years. And the last time we spoke was an argument, and, you know, never heard from him again. And now he's helping. So here I go crying again. But yeah, I got back in touch with my son through GoFundMe, and he gave me the money, and I'm gonna go in the house and I'll read the correspondence back and forth. I haven't, but yeah, hang on. I'm gonna gather myself here. But oh boy, yeah. So if anything of value came out of it, I found my son. So hang on. All right, my day is falling apart. I had so much to do, and I just got distracted. So now, how the hell? I know, Jan. I didn't bring them downstairs yet. Give me stands. They're out here. I'll just, no, sorry, no. Hang on. We'll just get rid of that clip. Alright, so my well thought out plans have fallen apart because I dithered again. After the last clip of talking about my son, I ended up reading the email that he sent to me again and sent him a long reply. It probably took me an hour to write. Oops, there we go. So, yeah, it's now 3 in the afternoon. So I guess I'm going to go upstairs and do one of the 2 crafts that you guys all voted on. I'm going to relook at the results of that poll, whether you wanted the stenciling on the bins or the drawer organizer, and I'll do one of those. So that might end up being a separate video because, you know, people who actually want to see that probably don't want to see all the rest of this stuff. So I guess we're going to call this quits for here. So maybe I'll just, yeah, but then if I edit it, then I won't get the other thing done. Yeah, my life is a dilemma. Anyway, so I've got this, I've got the Family Feud, then I'm going to do a craft. That's 3 videos, then time to edit them. So who knows when you'll see this, but I'm gonna call this a wrap and package it up someday. And up next is some sort of craft video that you probably will see before this. Alright, bye guys. Just in case anybody's wondering, we're like one of 2 families on our loop of 100 homes that cut their own grass. Okay, so yeah, we're do-it-yourselfers. We're not paying a lawn service. Just so you know, your donations did not go toward a lawn service. Just saying. And we have cut our own grass, you know, long before we ran into any financial problems. So this is just who we are. If we can do it ourselves, we do. We don't pay somebody else to do it. Just saying. Okay. Enough of my bitching. Man, I'm just snarky as hell today. It's not even Snarky Sunday. It's like Moby Monday. I don't know. But I'm gonna shut up now because I've recorded like hours and hours and hours of video, and I think he's figured out that I'm recording him because he's blushing. But yeah, apparently he came home from college to help cut the grass today. Isn't that nice? What a good boy. Alright, bye all. Quite the story, huh? Well, it all turns out good. Yeah. She's been back and forth with her son now a few times, emailing each other. And very, very happy about that. Yeah. So, and hopefully Annette and Lucy get their packages soon, because that was a while ago. We'll see. Anyway, we'll see what's next. I think probably stenciling. I don't know. Might be a couple days though. Yeah. Anyway, enjoy the rest of your day, because you already watched this. I don't know if you enjoyed this.